Hello, I'm Andre.
And I'm Andrea, and we're doing Doctor Who.
And that was the Space Museum. Yeah, you liked the Space
I
Museum.
did, yeah. I didn't know that people didn't like it until you told me after we watched it that
Yeah.
it's not super popular.
It has a pretty bad reputation. Fans generally like the first episode a great deal, and
Yeah.
then think it just that the wheels come off in the second episode and it just
Huh.
goes downhill. But you enjoyed the whole thing.
I
which
did, yeah, I didn't feel that way at all.
Yeah. So in the Space Museum, our time travelers show up at a place where no one can see or hear them, and
Right.
they're intangible, and it's a big mystery for the whole first episode. And we
Right.
find out that they've jumped a time track, whatever that is,
Right, yeah.
and they actually haven't arrived there yet.
Right.
And so they see themselves at the end of the episode in display cases, all embalmed and like on display in the museum.
Right.
And then they spend the next 3 episodes just trying to make sure they don't wind up in those cases and trying to figure out how to change the future, how to avoid
Right.
this fate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what happens for a lot of people is that after the incredibly odd mystery of the first episode, it sort of gets a little more normal in the next 3, and people sort of
Okay.
don't respond to that very well. But you responded to it really well, and
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. They're basically like, there's no way for them to know how they ended up in the cases. There's no way.
Right.
So the whole time they're just like, if we turn around this corner, will we end up in the cases? What if we go in that one? Maybe then we won't, but then maybe that's where we're going and then we will. Like the whole, 3 episodes of that, and I don't know, I found that humorous.
yeah, I think it's meant to be.
Yeah.
We watched Rob Shearman's Defending the Museum afterwards. It's essentially a new series writer talking about just how sort of postmodern and deep this story is.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a parody of some things that occurred previously in the show, and
Right.
the villains are rubbish, and the rebels are rubbish, and
Yeah.
it's everything that's supposed to be boring, and everything that is boring in it is supposed to be. And it's supposed to be a common, it's the story about inaction. It's a story about not doing anything.
Right, it's really funny. Our bad guys in this are totally bored. Like they're running a museum, like Rob Sherman said, they're running a museum of their past accomplishments because they have no current ones,
Right.
and they have nothing to do, and they just took over this planet, and they're like, what are we gonna do with it now? Let's open up a museum that nobody goes to. And then the rebels, who are gonna overthrow them or whatever, are just these tall Dutch kids. You know what I mean? Just these blonde, pretty, guys that are just yeah, we should someday. And Vicky is like a cheerleader with a gun. She's like, let's do it! Come on, guys!
And that's all it takes.
And that's all it took.
hilarious.
They're like, okay, sure.
I guess we could have a revolution.
If you could figure it out, yeah, and it's just, it's funny.
Yeah,
It is.
and the revolution takes 15 minutes.
But yeah,
There's
and
12
it's led
bad
by
guys.
this tiny little girl in this cute little white dress. Yeah, everybody's bored.
Yeah,
Everybody's bored.
And they take great pains to show that. I mean, they have that entire scene where the guy just walks in and sits down on the computer and yawns.
Right.
You know, it's-
So maybe that's why the viewers were bored, but then I feel like they weren't really paying attention to what this was about. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was really funny.
Yeah.
You just had to know why.
How great was Maureen O'Brien in this story?
So good.
She starts a revolution kind of because she's bored, because
Yes.
there's nothing going on. But
Yeah.
then she really comes into her own when she does this. She finds a way around the computer, and she decides she's going to go back in and look for people. She's becoming a real hero.
Yeah,
here.
and her and the doctor they're such a good team, I think, because they handle things similarly. She smiled through that whole thing. She's like, let's get some guns. Let's do this. You guys should start a revolution. We can do it. My friends are captured. But it's that childlike thing, But the doctor has that too. He gets very giddy and childlike. He's gets captured. And the guy's asking him all those questions, where are your friends? And he's like, oh, he just laughs all the way through, facing death. And this isn't the first time that we've seen him do this.
Yeah.
This is basically all the time that he just laughs through extremely dangerous situations. And that's sort of Vicky too. She's just ignorantly brave or something, and just kind of smiles through the whole thing. And then there was Ian, who was like the opposite in
Yeah.
this episode. He was like hardcore.
Totally hardcore.
Hardcore.
Yeah, Ian was the action hero in this
I
one.
know.
Yeah.
When he was like, what did he say? Yeah, the guy was like, it won't do you any good to kill me. And Ian's like, maybe not, but I'll sure take pleasure in it.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
like, what? Ian!
Yeah,
Got knighted and it all went to his head.
that's true. And then to have this really philosophical conclusion, which I really liked, where
Right.
everything that they did, it put them all back in the same place, right? They were going to be...
They were still going to be put
Right.
in the cases.
But because they influenced other people,
Right.
then events were changed. I thought that was really smart.
It is really smart. It's kind of shows the need for investment in others. You know, this is probably the first situation where they don't save themselves, that they make friends and their friends save them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It also shows that this is a theme that they were trying to put throughout the entire story of
Right.
action and inaction and what that means to other people around you. So
Right.
you take action and it doesn't necessarily change your own future, but other people are then inspired.
Inspired.
So I'm glad you like this one.
I really did. Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right, so as we saw at the end of this story, the Daleks are back,
Yeah.
and so you're a little scared of the Daleks.
I am. They showed up in this episode, and I had a reaction.
Yeah.
I am a little scared of them, actually.
Oh, good. So next week should be fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah, next week we're going to do The Chase, and so we hope to see you then.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.